We are back as promised with this verdict today in the murder trial of a homeowner in suburban Detroit who shot and killed a young woman he claimed was threatening him, banging on his doors in the middle of the night. But the jury rejected his claim that he feared for his life. NBC's Peter Alexander covering for us in Detroit tonight. Peter, good evening.
Brian, good evening. After deliberating for only 8 hours over 2 days, jurors found Theodore Wafer guilty of second-degree murder, manslaughter, and a felony firearms charge.
Guilty of murder in the second degree.
Theodore Wafer sat expressionless as the jury read its verdict, guilty on all counts in the death of 19-year-old Renisha McBride. McBride's parents say they were relieved and overwhelmed.
Her life mattered, and we showed that.
He was just waiting on something to happen. And unfortunately, my daughter came to his door and he shot her.
Jurors dismissed Wafer's claim that he was acting in self-defense in the early morning hours last November when he says he was awakened by someone loudly banging on the doors of his suburban Detroit home.
I wasn't going to cower in my house. I didn't want to be a victim.
Fearing for his life, Wafer says he found his shotgun, opened the front door, and fired.
I just shot somebody on my front porch with a shotgun, banging on my door.
Prosecutors say McBride was disoriented after suffering a concussion hours earlier when she drove into a parked car several blocks away. An autopsy showed she was drunk and high at the time, but prosecutors argued not a threat.
She was a young girl looking for help.
Another critical piece of testimony, Wafer, who said he couldn't find his phone, admitted that he never called police before shooting the unarmed teenager. But during the 2-week trial, Wafer insisted he was devastated by the shooting.
This poor girl, she had her whole life in front of her. I took that from her.
Now the victim's family focuses on a life lost.
She can rest because she know justice has been served for her because she's supposed to be right here with us.
Wafer, who had been free on bond, is behind bars tonight. Brian, he is awaiting sentencing. He could face up to life in prison, but many legal experts suggest it will likely be much less than that.